Mm. Ooh. Hello, everybody. Oh my God, I am so excited to welcome you in here. And just the inner child, I'm just feeling it right now. Oh my God. Thank you so much for choosing to be here. What a divine honor to have all of you in the circle into this journey for the next few months. It is truly just beyond what I could imagine to welcome all of you here in this space. So, as I sit here right now, I want to invite you also to drop down into your body in a moment. We'll start the transmission, the womb and heart breathing, and pussy breathing as well, because that is truly the basis of our container, right? It is really reclaiming that creative life force energy. So, for now, let's start just by arriving here, tuning into our breath. Ooh, just my body's brimming with the excitement having you here. I hope that you are also feeling this from my body. I am so grateful to have you here. So, in case you haven't yet, go ahead and just close your eyes and let's drop into our breath. Welcome yourself into the space, and I'd love to welcome all of you into the space. Oh my goodness. I feel you already, and it's just so ecstatic to be here with all of you. And as you welcome yourself into the space, I want to ask you to just drop into your breath. No judgments, no shifting, no changing. Just drop into a sense of presence by attuning into your breath. How are you breathing right now? Are you breathing at all? Are you trying to peek? Just take a notice on seeing where you are at today as we enter in together in this container. Continue to your breath and feel into your presence. Feel into your body. Oh. And sending the breath to any parts of you that feel contracted, that feel a little bit of tension. Go ahead and send that breath to that part of the body. Opening up that solar plexus, the heart chakra. You feel the air coming through your nose, in through your third eye, through every crevice of your brain, coming down to all parts of the body, the neck, the throat, the chest, solar plexus, down to your sacral chakra and your root chakra. And can you receive the breath just a little bit more in this moment? As you call all parts of you back home. And with each breath, allow this to be a divine invitation to have all parts of your soul come back into this body, just right in this moment, in the now. When we allow our breaths to travel through fully to the depths of our body, we're signaling that it is safe to be here. And when we hold our breaths, it's signaling that it's not safe to be here. So allow this to be an invitation to come home into your true own essence in the now, in this moment. Loosening up that space in between your eyebrows, dropping your shoulders, dropping your root chakra down to the ground, loosening up your anus. Oh. And feel into your heart as you breathe. Feel into your soft power. Know that we can transcend time and space just by being innately, divinely, so deeply present into ourselves. And this is a practice that we will keep cultivating as we dive into the temple space deeper for the next few months. You will always come back to this practice, calling all parts of you back home. And just notice what feelings arrive, what emotions, what energies and emotions are wanting to be acknowledged. Listen into your inner landscape. Tune into a feeling of how do I want to be deeply held and supported today? And what can I give to my body in this moment to allow myself to receive this transmission easefully, gracefully, lovingly, and in the most nourishing way? So tune into that the next few breaths. Keep breathing all parts of you back into you, embracing the slowness, embracing the softness, the delicacy of this moment between you and yourself. Breathing through your nose and exhale. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Exhale. One more time, deep breaths. Deep down to your belly. And shake, shake, shake. Okay, my loves, it is a pleasure to welcome you in here. And you'll come to know the temple space. Every time we dive into a ceremonial space, oftentimes I'll invite us into either a grounding breath or we're going to dance together, which is something that we're going to invite all of us right now into the space to participate in. Today, as you tune into this recording, I also want you to see as we're dropping into our breath exercise in a few, the heart, the womb, and the pussy breath, it really allowed us to be an experience where you do transcend time and space, right? You do, when you tune into that deep sense of presence, you can actually move through past the screen, like pass through all the physical barriers, because we are beyond our human body. We want to nourish the human body so much so that we can understand that we're also beyond the human body, because our humanness is a beautiful complexity that we all get to inspire and grow into and really step into, because that is what we're here for in the Monarch Temple, is really truly stepping into your deepest, most juiciness, wonderful embodiment of authentic, true self. Yeah, because there's a lot of different ways on how to step into our authentic, true self out there. And this is really an advocacy around tuning into the fact that we can and we have the choice and we do choose to attune to pleasure practices. Love and abundance is a divine act of activism itself. So as you carry through this journey in this temple, know that you're also shifting humanity at its deepest level, because we are shifting humanity at our most deeply intimate experience of ourselves. through this temple space. It is when we can see all the dualities and all of the polarities within us all without any judgments whatsoever. Then we let us to step into that divine sacred union from within, in which then you could really invite others to see this, because there's a sense of embodiment in it, right? There's such a difference when you're carrying an act of activism rooted in anger versus a sacred rage that has been transmuted and has been understood through the lens of love. It is because we are worthy, not because there's a resistance that needs to be made. The only resistance that we are acting upon right now is the act around that we're not supposed to take care of ourselves, that we're meant to tune into scarcity, pressure, and fear, which is a lot of things that are happening in the collective right now. And as you welcome yourself into the Monarch Temple, I also want to remind you that the Monarch Temple is your divine temple of the body. That is, for those of us that bear a physical pussy, or even if you only have an energetic pussy, that is the portal to God. That is the painting that I channeled about a month ago with a local friend here, and she is the portal of God. For some of us, maybe the path to God or the portal to God, but it is the portal of God, because truly that is where all life began, right? In this world. There's not one single one of us, no matter what gender your birther is, not one of us that didn't come out of a pussy. And even for those of us who don't have physical pussy, you do have an energetic pussy. You birth things out of that portal of sacred birth and death every month, every moment that you shed, whether you shed energetically or you shed physically. So again, this container is also not just for humans who are physically born as female assigned at birth. This is also for humans who want to really get in touch with their energetic pussy. It is the awakening of the divine feminine and all of humanity within. So I really want to welcome you, whatever gender identification you sit with here today. Know that we all have both. We all have that divine masculine inside. We all have that divine feminine, and none of it is a gendered experience. It is simply two parts that complete as one. It is multiple parts that complete as one. It is all the elements that can co-work and co-create and collectively rise together. And that's how we actually create. That's how we actually create, is through the element of being in co-creative space, right? Even manifesting. We're going to dive into a little bit of that. This is not a container for specifically forward to that, but in essence, it does dive into it, because manifesting is the act of devotional action to create, co-create with the universe, right? It's not just you waiting for the thing to happen. That's not what manifestation is. But through diving into your creative life force energy, your body is a temple, your body starts to feel safe and feel divinely supported, then you can tap into that magical and miracle frequency. And for many of you, this experience will really shift your life in many different ways. And know that in this experience, let's take a deep breath in together. In this experience, you will experience a time where there will be changes, contractions, challenges. Life is going to happen, and this is the way it is, right? Life is up and down, and it is nor good nor bad. It is the fact that when we don't serve those waves, that's when we're dead. like in the ICU, I used to watch this all the time. There's such a wisdom, the up and down, right? A healthy sinus rhythm is always going like this. Always going like this. But just that rhythm, on being able to serve this rhythm, allows you to live divinely in itself, and allowing you to kind of honor, again, this up and down, really allows you to feel a life that feels wholesome for you. And there's a way to honor these emotions in a way that it is still being deeply honored, deeply cultivated, deeply acknowledged, without feeling like you're losing yourself. And knowing that even when you do feel you're losing yourself, you are still divinely supported in all the ways, and love can always bring you back, right? So let's take a deep breath in together again. I get so excited. So let's take that one more time. Here in the Monarch Temple, again, remembering that your body is the divine Bible chapter. The universe is the Garden of Eden that is ready to provide for you, protect you, support you in all the ways. It's just a matter of really getting to know the universe in a deeply more intimate way, so that you know, where did I put that thing to support me, or where can I receive a deeper support in my body? And that all starts within, right? Because if our body's not ready to receive, it will come as like, oh my God, it's too overwhelming, there's too much, like, I can't deal with this. Or maybe you start to question those things, like, am I worthy of all of this? And knowing also, in the tantric path, where we always say, we know that these feelings are going to come. So it's not that you're running away from it. We acknowledge it, we fully see it. And as you receive more love into your body, you will start to feel, oh my God, Hada, I'm feeling like I'm being cracked open and I don't know what to do. I feel like such a mess. And sometimes that is the divinity in itself. And it is a part of the journey, is to be messy and to also be willing to receive the support that you desire to receive in that messiness. Knowing that even though, let me word this, in whatever way that support looks like, I invite you to receive it with no judgment, whether that may be an extra support of an extra one-on-one session, a call with another sister or a sibling, or even a brother, or a therapist that enters into your life, a new assistant that enters into your life, hiring a new team for you, or a new spirit guide that comes along. Allow the support to come into you, and no matter what way it looks like. And what's the most important thing is to honor that, what you need, to honor thus what you need deeply, without any judgment whatsoever. And that alone, honestly, oftentimes is the most challenging act that humanity is here to transmute, is to receive support and to accept ourselves no matter what, to love ourselves no matter what. And it is so easy to say. It is an embodiment to really step into that, to really step into our deep power. And it's not to say that your journey is not powerful, because we've all been through a journey, right? We've all felt disempowered in some sort of way. And we've also known that from that source of disempowerment, oftentimes you actually sow back your power. This is where you can really open up your body and receive power back into your body, and really take it in and inhale into that divine sovereignty that is all of you, that is an essence of you, and allow yourself to be loved, nourished, and supported in all the ways. And again, as you tune into this work, hold the collective with you. As you for some of you, there may be a notion around, oh, like maybe I shouldn't care for myself because there's so much suffering in this world. Why do I have the right to care for myself when there's so many things that I should feel scarce about? And this is really an invitation for us to root back in that, feeling in that way, perpetuating yourself and an immense amount and an abundance of scarcity and thoughts of why you should deserve these things is not helping anybody in the other side of the world. It's not helping anybody who are oppressed under a certain law, under a certain condition. It is not at all. But the divine act of loving all of ourselves in 1000% commitment, no matter what. And the route in the monarch temple is through honoring the sexuality and the eros, because sexuality brings about the most intimate part of us, right? We're all created through sex, whether it's whatever types of creation force that was in that time, in the time of creation. We were all created from sexual energy. And this is why it is important to transmute and to understand and to mend that relationship, to be in the right relationship with your sexual energy, with your creative energy, to know that all humans get to create things in pleasure. And I really believe when we really attune ourselves into reclaiming our sense of sexuality and embodiment, right? Feeling safe in your body, and embodiment to what? As embodiment to pleasure, love, and abundance, instead of embodiment to scarcity, fear, and pressure, then we really could open up that gateway in which the divine feminine nurturance awakens in the world and begins to see all of us in our own divine unity. Because when we can accept ourselves, it is easier to witness others in their truth without it taking our power away, without it taking our truth away. And what can begin is now this co-creational domino effect, where we begin to stand in our power completely and divinely so, without any shame, without any guilt, pressure, scarcity. And good Lord knows how long that's going to take. But all we know is what matters is now. What is here is elsewhere. What is not here is nowhere. So it really depends on what you're creating in your field. And know that each word, each action, everything you do, everything you put out changes the chemistry of the whole world. And I know that this seems like that's bazonkers, like there's no way. But the truth is, the law of quantum, the law of oneness, right? There's 12 laws of magic, and we're going to go over this together. As we journey together. So make sure to check every bonus content video. The more you immerse yourself in the journey, look at it as a divine abundance for yourself, and prosperity is the way that you can really receive this and then share it with others, right? So you receive it, you embody it, and then you share it with others. Or maybe you bring others to a temple space that you feel in resonance with, maybe here, maybe from a guest speaker that comes in. So know that your priority to be here is to truly receive and nourish and take care of yourself, and know that because you do that, everything else will take care of its own. You're making your little shift. And it just like how you think the pendulum, right? This is one molecule. And if you move the side, the other one will move. The other one will move. It's the same thing when it comes to the universe. In the quantum physics realm, nobody knows who's really who. It just knows that movement is taking place here. And as I'm speaking this vibration to you right now, it's already changing the collective in itself. It's already inviting you all to come in here. It's already awakening this to welcome you into this container to join the movement. So it is all about what is it that you're cultivating in your body, and knowing that to remember always that you are divinely supported, loved, held, no matter what the circumstances, no matter what story the collective is going through. As you liberate yourself, you liberate others, you set others free. And if you are particularly from the femmes of color community, the people of color community, or maybe your community that has been oppressed, your melanated beings, or if you're in the white bodies and you've experienced shame around that, knowing that you stepping into your power, understanding your own privileges, and every color has their own privilege. Like it's not all humans in its deepest, most equal level can see equity in itself. So knowing where am I being supported is a privilege. Having this phone, being able to be in this course alone is a privilege. So the point is not to compare the things, but it's just acknowledgement that we all deserve, that we all want the same thing. We all just want to connect from source. And of course, with that, I want to honor also for those of us who are melanated beings. I'm a lighter person in color, and I know it's not the same. And if you are a melanated beautiful femme of color, and you're all beautiful, and no matter what ways it is all beauty because you are here, because you have arrived here. And I love that so much about you, and thank you for stepping into this journey and to take the calling to undo all the generational trauma that has been implanted generation through generation through generation, because you are here now 7 before you get to heal, and 7 after you get to heal. You get to be the bridge to put that sovereign calling to create that new agreement, right? You create a boundary, you put a stop, and then you also create a new agreement, because it's important for us to create new agreements. It's not just about boundaries. It's one thing to have a boundary, but it's another thing to create a new agreement with the universe. This is how it's going to be from now on, from this generation and forward. So I really want to invite you in each divine practice of the temple practice to always remember that this is not just for me. And for me to show up in this divine space where I'm taking care of myself, where I'm loving myself deeper, is also liberating other humans. You don't always see it with your eyes. And that's the thing, right? As humans, oftentimes, or not always, I'm also learning how to eliminate the word always. Oftentimes, human beings really are addicted to this thing about seeing evidence. But the thing is, everything happens in the quantum before it even quantum realms before it lands here. This is the last place, because this is the most dense energetic vibration, right? Like if you see this in a solid matter form, it is already denser than what's being created up here in the 5th and the 6th dimension. And here in the Monarch Temple, our mission is the invitation around inviting human beings to bring in the sixth dimensional existence, which is like the sixth dimension is all there is. There's like everything is created in there. That's where the monarch temple is. That is your human body that is beyond the human. It is like here in the sixth, and then you want to bring it down to the fifth dimension, then you bring it to the fourth, then you bring it down to right here, because the truth is, again, if it's not here, it's nowhere. So at the same time, there is this divine element of contemplation in this temple where you are going to be asked to break all the rules, all the polarities, and also at the same time honoring the polarities, honoring all the different forms of us, different archetypes, different feelings, different perspective, and then allowing yourself to see it in the window of love and the window of unconditionality. And can you allow yourself to see that? Because ultimately, that is what the monarch temple is really all about, is just this divine way of looking at everything unconditionally, and also inviting that element of contemplation, being able to see things not in a way that is so black and white, which is a binary construct, right? And allowing yourself, can I see it at the unionized construct in which we still honor the binary view, all the polarities, different views, in a way that it shows us the way on how to unite divinely together, stronger as a collective, stronger as a co-creative collective being of all of us. So with that, hold on a second, let me just tune into my notes here for a second. I want to make sure that I cover everything. The invitation throughout this container is to always listen to your breath as well. Your breath is number one teacher, as my teacher Naomi says it so profoundly well. And just by tuning into our breath, we can really learn a lot about ourselves. So tuning into that deeper sense of presence is everything in this container. And know that when I say something, this is an invitation to contemplate things, right? It's not to like, oh, okay, I'm going to take it, I'm going to implant it. That is not the thing about it. If you do that, this negates the whole point of being here at all. Everything that I say is going to be moments of contemplation, as receiving it fully, right? Practice receiving, just like how we practice receiving money into our field, receiving it fully, and then being able to contemplate, how can this information deeply serve me in my own evolution? So contemplate and create your own codes, your transmissions, like really allowing this transmission to move through you, being transmitted, and then move through you, digested, nourished, and utilized to nourish your body, and then form your own codes from there. Because guess what? For those of us who have like been in this coaching, feminine embodiment world, there's a lot of words around coding, like receive the codes, and knowing that the codes are within you in itself. Our job, our role as a space holder is to really allow you to remember the Morse codes are in your body, located in your ancestral and DNA and all of your galactic lineages, all of that. No matter who you meet here, know that you're always meeting yourself at a deeper level. Each time you come into the temple space, each time you press play, you're just tuning into meeting yourself at a deeper, most delicious level in its own way. And what a divine pleasure to be able to hold you through this. So again, always ask yourself, oh, is this true to me? Let me contemplate about it. Let me think about it. Let me feel into it. Let me ruminate about it. Let me take a walk with it. This is a deep, slow, long process. I want you to treat it just as if we were cultivating this act of divine, sacred energy exchange, really tuning into each other's energies and then playing with it and dancing with it. And just like, even if you get triggered, and some of us will, and I want to acknowledge that fully because it is a really deeply intimate journey, allow that trigger to be a divine invitation for you to dive deeper within yourself, and then getting to know yourself in ways that maybe you haven't before. And know that all the support is always available for you, even if it looks like, again, the forms of therapy or a one-on-one or a sister phone call, a brother phone call, call your parents, whoever it is. Being open to the support that you get to receive in terms of moving through those contractions and the expansions and the challenges as well. So again, be open to the type of support that you get to receive, maybe support in ways that you haven't received before. And the truth that came out of this is not always what is said, it is how it is received, and then how it is processed to you and how you share it forward. And this is why I'm always going to invite us to share what you have alchemized through that ceremonial experience. And know that also oftentimes throughout the ceremonial times, there will be times where I don't invite us to share at the end. And this is when the invitation is usually to really allow yourself to share with yourself the transmissions that you have received, to really nourish yourself in it, marinate in it, allow it to be processed, digested, nourished, loved, and then you can share it forward the week after. So know that your voice is always invited. Okay, even if you feel like I've said something that has been offensive, or a sister or a sibling has offended you in some sort of way, or you have felt a certain type of contraction around it, know that there's an openness to discuss this. This is a space to also heal that siblinghood and sisterhood wounds. As long as we approach everything with the heart, know that everything is always provided. And there will be guidelines around that as well. So make sure you check in the PDF guide on this. And let's see if there's anything else. We will have, yes, weekly ceremonial containers, and that details is also all in the PDF. So be sure to check in on that. And this is really just a divine activation to kind of welcome you into the container. And I'm actually probably going to make another video for the second part of this. So that way you can listen to it in two different parts if you did desire to do so, to dive into the breath work after this. Let me see what else. A pleasure, love, and abundance, pussy power. Yes, yes, yes. And I believe that is all, my love. Welcome yourself into the Monarch Temple, and know that your body is the divine Monarch Temple, and the Oracle is just here to support you to get to know that temple. We're here to give you the temple tour. So I'm really excited to journey together and to kind of weave this coexistence and to be in that mode of discovery on what we get to co-create together. So I'm sending you all so much love. I will see you in the next video. Mwah.